Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'll be doing a review on this Breville, the Barista Express Espresso machine. Model number BES870XL. So this machine retails for $700. I did buy a used one off of Amazon for $600. And during the holidays, this thing will go on sale for around $600. So I've had this machine for a while. It's been in the basement. It was a very intimidating machine. But I've been playing around with it. I've had some help from a friend, and I think we've got it pretty well dialed in. Now, first thing, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. This machine is a very capable machine, but it's got a lot of different functions, a lot of different settings. But you're going to make some mistakes at first. You're going to make a lot of mess. Have fun with it. It is worth it in the end. When you get it dialed in and you kind of get it figured out, it's a really fun machine. It's kind of fun being your own barista at home. So these first videos, I'm going to use what comes with the machine. So the tamper, I'm going to use the Portafilter I'm going to use. I'm going to do a separate video because I did find that I upgraded some stuff on this. And I'll do a separate video with all the upgrades that I did. Also going to do a video on how to disassemble it. There's a lot to clean here. The conical burr grinder, the Portafilter area. Then I'm also going to do a descale video. There's a descale light that comes on, so I'll do a separate descale video on that. So this video is mainly going to deal with the espresso, the grinder, and then I'm going to do a separate video on the milk frother. It does have a wand for frothing milk, which is relatively easy, but there are a few tricks to that. It comes with this milk jug. So here's the machine. It's got a bean hopper. Underneath here, you can take this off. There's a conical burr grinder in there. You've got a really nice water tank with this nice handle on it. It's got a filter in there that filters the water. You've got a grind size here, a thumb wheel with numbers on there you can read. This is going to be important. So when the machine is on, this gets hot. So it's to preheat your mugs. You've got this is for the frothing the milk, and you got a hot water dispenser right here. Hot water can come out. Or you've got a steam wand. And these are the controls for it. Just move it back and forth. Here's the Portafilter it comes with. It's a really nice one. It's nice and heavy. It's got 2 ports where the espresso comes out. Here's your filters. Okay, so now they give you 4 filters. This is for a single shot. This is for a double shot. And you can see how the openings are big and open. This is when you grind your own coffee using the machine. Now over here we've got these, they call these dual wall filters. These are a lot different. They say dual wall on them. This is if you use pre-ground espresso. So if you've got coffee that's already ground in an espresso and you bring it home or you buy it at the store, you're going to want to use these. Today I'll be dealing with these. I like to use the grinder on the machine, so I'll be using mainly this double shot. So first thing you're going to need is some whole bean coffee. Now, these are the 3 that I've tried in here. I've got a Starbucks espresso. They say whole bean on them. Today I'll be using this Lavazza. This seems to be working pretty good. I've also tried this. You want a dark roast, and you want some that maybe even say espresso on them. It's an espresso roast. These machines work better when it's like a really dark roast. So I've got it plugged in. Let's go over the controls. This is a power button. When you first turn it on, it primes the pump and it has to warm up the water. So these lights may flash and these may not come on until the water is warm. So some controls you're going to get used to is the grind amount. How much, this is an automatic grinder. So when you activate the grinder, how much comes out? That's what this controls. This changes the filter size for your grind if you're doing a double shot or a single shot. This needle is going to deflect how much pressure is in the Portafilter. We can program, we're going to show you that later, but you can program a single and a double shot, or you can just hit the single shot and double shot. They are automatically programmed, but you can change how much water comes out of each one of those using that button. So again, mainly the front panel here is for doing espresso. And then when we want to do steam or water, this is where the water is going to come out. Now, a drip tray on this machine is very important. It's going to fill up quick. You're going to get ground coffee in it. It's going to be a mess, and that's okay. But it's got a very good design to it. You just pull it out, and what I like about it is if you pull it out, it brings the tool. There's the tool storage, it brings it with it every time. So here you've got a brush for doing the grinder. Here you've got a little pin for doing the, if you've got coffee stuck somewhere. You got an Allen wrench for taking out the brew head, and this is for cleaning. I'm going to do a separate video on how to do a cleaning. Because, so this Breville came with 2 different cleanings. These tablets are for use with this, and there's a special cleaning mode you put it in. You put this in the portafilter with this, and there's a separate cleaning mode for those. And then there's the descaler. And this machine also has a descale mode. So I'm going to do a separate video on how to descale it. And you simply just slide that back. So originally I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to grab it. But this grabs it. It's built really nice. It grabs it and brings it out every time. So this does have a little window that's going to pop up. So this is going to where all the water and steam are going to go. And as it fills up, this empty me, it'll say empty me. It will pop up through here and you'll see it. So back in here, it says make sure you keep this area nice and clear. Whenever we're doing the steam wand, you're going to see steam come out of this. This is normal for steam and water to kind of come out of this drip tray. So here's our tamper. This is what we're going to tamp inside the portafilter with. And it also comes with this razor, the precision dose trimming tool. Now it's not real sharp, but I'm going to use this tool too. Okay, so let's go up underneath. There's where the ground coffee is going to come out. That's the button that activates it right there. That's what turns the grinder on. Here's your portafilter. There's the brew head. There's where that Allen screw is, where you can take that out and clean that. Okay, so I got this little placemat, and get you some old towels. You're going to stain some old towels. You have to have towels for wiping the wand, the milk wand, and also for doing espresso, because you want everything nice and dry in the portafilter and the filters. So get you some, you're going to need a bunch of towels. They're going to get stained. So make sure your area around it, you're going to get kind of coffee and espresso. It splatters a little bit. You know, it's a fun machine, but it does kind of make a mess. But it'll make a less of a mess the more you get used to it. Okay, so I'm going to start with this dial right there. And over here, this is the grind size. I'm going to start between a 3 and a 4. I've done a lot of work. This seems to be very good for me and this type of coffee that I'm using. Now, these may be different, and I'll try to help you with that. Okay, so here we have the portafilter. We've got to let's put the double shot in. They're just friction fit. You just put them in. Getting them out can be kind of tricky. That's where I found when you have a towel and you're cleaning them, using a towel to get them out is a lot easier than trying to get them out with your fingers. You always have to start off, you're going to be cleaning these a lot, so make sure it's nice and dry. So you're going to put the portafilter right here. It rests right here, okay? But then when I push it, that's what activates the grinder. Now, if I want to manually stop the grinder, I can hit this button. Now, this button doesn't start the grinder. It changes. I got a double shot filter in here, so I've got the double shot. So again, when you first start using this, it's going to make a mess. It's going to overflow. It may not be enough. You may put too much in. It's okay. This is designed to take water and coffee grounds. It does a really good job. Okay, I got my grind amount. This is how much when I push this in, that's how long the grinder is going to go. So activate the grinder. Okay, so I've learned that I need a lot more espresso in there than originally planned. So if you need a little bit more, you can press that in and hold it, and then when you let out, it'll stop. Okay, so let's grab it again. What I like to do now is just kind of make the hill kind of even. You're going to grab the tamper, and we want to tamp that down with a nice even pressure, and it actually needs to be really hard. Okay. Now you're going to dump that over. Now this is where we get this razor out. You're going to use it. It makes the shot puck nice and level. You're going to get the excess grounds out. it does the right amount of depth. Okay, so make sure you don't have any excess here or here. You don't want to get it in the machine. So we tamped it. Again, you want to tamp it really hard. And when you tamp it, they say that it should be right about there. That top of that metal should be about even with the filter. And what we're going to find is the grind size, the amount of grind, and the tamping pressure are all going to be very critical in the espresso shot. And what I've found is the tamping pressure seems to have more to do with, you know, the grind size is important and the amount, but I found the tamping pressure to be one of the major factors of a good shot or a bad shot. Okay, so we've already had the machine on. You want to do don't put the portafilter in yet. You want to just hit the single shot button. This is called stabilizing the temperature. Just let that's going to be really hot. Just let it run out. It'll stop automatically. And then we've got our mug up here. Oh, it's nice and warm. So now we can put our mug down. We're going to take this, put this in, turn it to the lock, make sure it comes out at a 90-degree position. And then you just simply hit the double shot. Make sure your cup's there. We're going to be watching pressure, how long before it starts to come out, and what it looks like. So that's a pretty good espresso shot. We've got good pressure. It's looking pretty good. And then it stops automatically. So when I first started out, I was having a really hard time getting this gauge to read anything. It would just barely come up. So I'm not a coffee taste expert. I really have a hard time drinking espresso, but I have found, so a friend helped me, that espresso, if it's really bitter, that means it's not a very good shot. You didn't do a very good job with this. But if it's a really, really, really strong coffee, then that's what it should taste like. Now, I can't drink really, really, really strong coffee like this straight. I have to mix it with milk, make a cappuccino or latte. So I will show you one thing that I am going to bring out. This is called a knock box. It's really nice. This is an upgrade. It doesn't come with the machine. I'll put a link to it in the show description notes. So now just take it out. We want to take a look at the puck. Okay, so we had a little bit of water in there. And you just want to knock the puck out. See, the puck comes out. And there's the puck in there. It's really hot, so be careful. But there's what it looks like. Now, before you do another shot, you do have to clean, just rinse it out and take the filter out, rinse it all out, and dry it off real good. Okay, so I've got this all cleaned up. Let's play around with the grinder. So again, you can push it in. If you want to stop it, you can hit that button, or you can, push it in, start it again. Say you want to stop it, push it in, that stops it. Then if you want to do manual grind, just push it in, hold it. It'll grind while you're holding it in. And then when you let go, it stops. So it took me 2 days to kind of figure out what was going on. I watched a lot of videos. The videos online, people are very good with this machine. There's a lot of experts on this machine. But trying to transfer those videos to this was pretty hard. So I had coffee all over. I was making a big mess. Went through a lot of coffee grounds, and my espresso shots were not very good at first. I'm just trying to tell you, it is going to take a little bit to get it dialed in. And the thing that helped me the most was putting a larger amount of ground coffee in there and the tamp pressure. Those two things. I played around with the grind size. That didn't do a whole lot. It did a little bit. But putting a lot of coffee ground, or espresso in there, grounds, and the tamp pressure. Those were the two things that it seems like the more coffee, the more tamp pressure, the better. Now, a lot of the videos, they will measure, they'll weigh how much coffee goes in there. And we were doing that. That was getting a little confusing for me. And then they were timing the espresso shot. I just haven't got to that point yet. I think I will eventually. But right now, I'm really liking the machine. It's been a lot of fun. But I think if I make things way too hard, I won't do it. And that's why this machine sat for a while. It was very intimidating at first. Okay, so let's do another one. I'm going to do the automatic. Got it on double. Okay, so see how I found that the more, the better. Okay, so then just kind of make it even. You want to keep as much in there as you can. But then I found you almost have to stand up to do this. I'm going to put the tamper in, and you want to really tamp it. And then kind of get the excess off. Then we're going to use the razor. Okay. You're still going to have a little bit excess in there, but you don't want it on these ears or around here where it could get into your drink. Get this all nice and clean. Again, you'll get used to it. Press a single shot, get it warmed up. Okay, so let's put this on. Now I noticed mine wanted to turn past, but just make sure you stop right at the 90-degree position. So let's put the container down. All right. I'm gonna try to get a temperature of the espresso. So it's about 160, 175, 181 coming out. And you end up with about a 165 espresso. And a double shot, you end up with right around 2 ounces. Again, I can program those so that they'll be a little bit less or a little bit more. And you're going to want to examine your puck. The puck is going to tell you a lot. I do have some water on there, but generally the puck is kind of held together. When I knock it out, again, I'm not an expert with any of this. I'm just kind of going off of what I've learned. When I knock it out, you know, it stayed pretty intact. It wasn't a big soupy mess. I mean, you may have a puck that won't come out because it's just full of soup. You know, it's hardly anything at all. And you may have some that are so compact that they hardly will come out. I haven't ran into that yet. Mainly if they're too watery. You're not putting enough grounds in and you're not tamping it hard enough. So if this is really, really soupy, more grounds and more harder tamp. Okay, so I'll show you the hot water. So if you want hot water, there's a little hot water port that you can rinse things out. You can rinse portafilters out and stuff, but you move this wand to the water port. That water coming out is 180 degree, 178, 179. Then to stop it, you just go back to the center position. And so frothing milk, this thing has a lot of mobility. It's got this nice handle. So to start with, you're gonna wanna put this, aim this towards that opening right there. Then you're gonna turn this to steam. We sort of need to get the water out of the steam wand first. So you're gonna get some hot water coming out. That hot water may come out for a while. You'll hear kind of a different pump come on and then this will come on. All right, so we're getting some good steam. Now we're gonna go back to standby. Now the steam wand is ready. And you will notice some water, you'll notice there is, inside this machine, it's dumping some steam into this drip tray. That's what you're hearing. So now the wand is ready to use. Fiona got up from her nap. She wants to go outside, she just woke up. Okay, so let's froth a little bit of milk. I've got some milk. This milk jug comes with the unit. This is a whole art in itself. You've got to keep the wand moving. You want the tip of it just below the surface of the milk. And then you want to go in a circular motion. As the milk, it's gonna get foam, it's gonna rise. You want to keep going up and up in it in a circular motion to heat it up. Now you don't want to overheat your milk. You can burn milk. So let's give this a try. I'm gonna go to steam. Okay, so I waited too long. The light was flashing, saying that steam wasn't ready. So, okay, I've got good steam. Turn the knob to standby. Put the wand in the steam and go and turn this back to steam. So this takes a little bit. This is not super fast. Okay, so we're getting done. You want to turn that to off. You want to wipe this right away because that milk will stay on there. Okay, so here I've got my espresso from earlier. Let's add the milk. Then let's add the foam there at the end. So I didn't do the best job frothing the milk. But you add a little bit of vanilla syrup or something. These are very good drinks. But you can see just by playing around with it, you know, I made a mess. The wand's got a bunch of milk on it. I've got a bunch of mess here. That's okay. This machine is fun. I make some really good drinks. What's really fun is when you've got people with you. I had a friend. We were doing this all day, well, half a day, and we were just having a lot of fun with it. The friend was my nephew, and he can drink espresso straight. And he said once you get it dialed in, it does make a very good espresso. That's like a really, really, really strong coffee. So making sure you keep this steam wand clean is very critical. I didn't wipe it. I should have had a damp cloth that was really damp, ready to wipe this off as soon as I was done. Now be careful, this is hot. Otherwise that milk sticks to it and becomes really hard to clean. And even after, we should run a little bit of steam through it to clean that tip. Oh, that's water, sorry. So now that's cleaning the tip. Okay, so here I've got a towel that's almost completely soaking wet. And as soon as you're done frothing milk, I know it's really hard because you're getting your drink, you're drinking your drink, but it is important to keep this. So if you get that nice and wet, it keeps it nice and clean. And see, I just got my towel, and that stuff stains the towels really bad. So I've just made a huge mess. So it does come with a very nice manual. It's got a lot of reading, but there's a lot of tips. When your espresso's not turning out right, you really do have to follow those. So make sure you have, look, that's the amount of coffee we use so far. So make sure you've got plenty of coffee. I ran out of coffee beans one time. So let's go over cleanup, turn the machine off, I do like to do one thing before cleanup. I like to run a little bit of water through here, so just do a single shot. Then after it's done, I can stop it. Wipe off that nozzle area. Now that's really, really hot. Now just make sure the towel's the only thing touching it. That is really, really hot. So just wipe that off. Just keeps that nice and clean. Knock off this extra ground coffee right here. Like I said, we've only done a couple shots, and this drip tray is getting full. But it does a good job. It handles the ground coffee, and see, there's how much water is. See, it's getting really full already. So just stay on top of that. This is all easy to clean. So be sure and check out my next video. I bought an upgraded tamper because tamping was so important. I wanted something I could get more grip with. I bought this open portafilter. This was just a lot of fun. You can see the espresso coming out of the bottom. Just really fun to see that. This was just like an upgrade to the knife option that you can adjust the depth. Again, the knockbox, I brought that out early because it's just way too nice to have. This is an adapter. I'm going to see how it works for making sure you get more espresso in your coffee there, in your portafilter, made just for this machine. And then some tamping mats. So you put these on the corner of your counter, and you're able to tamp them, and it kind of helps with the mess. So this is going to be my upgrade for the Breville. Then I'm also going to do a descale, so when your clean light comes on, you have to put it in descale mode. I'm going to take out the espresso head, the shower head there on this side. We can take the grinder all apart. We can take the conical grinder out and do some cleaning on it. And then there's even these tablets. I'm going to show you how to use these tablets. So this video was a lot of fun. I'm glad I did it. If you got any questions at all, leave them in the comments down below. I'll try to help you out as much as I can. Just remember, it's going to be hard to learn at first. Have fun. It will be rewarding after you've spent some time with it. So thanks everybody for watching. If you could, please like and subscribe.